Welcome to the third episode of Steep and Steel. Today we continue on the Steel train and feature an artist helping me cover the song You Should Be Sad by the one and only Halsey. I figured we'd take a crack at a modern tune since last episode we went back to the 80s with Tina Turner. This song is sort of a folkish country pop hit that Halsey released about 2 years ago and fell in line with the type of music I actually enjoy playing the most. So a little backstory. I used to be, kinda still am, in an acoustic duo with a very good friend of mine named Jes Widel. We met about 10 years ago. We instantly bonded over performing covers in an acoustic down-tempo style. Sort of a Civil Wars meets Christina Aguilera, I would say. It's probably the best to explain us. We ended up being the perfect concoction for a wedding band and performed for several weddings, a handful of Hollywood gigs, and some local live music venues in our area. Jes is my homie and has always been my favorite person to cover songs with. It's funny because after looking back at all this old footage of our performances over the years while I'm making this, it reminded me of how obsessed I was to play in front of my friends. Fairly frequently, I was forcing spontaneous acoustic performances at house parties, and Jes was always on board. It actually created a platform for both sides of our friends to get together. We dabbled with a few originals, but always spoke on the same level when we covered other people's work. Our lives are both pretty busy and continually get busier, so covers will probably always be our outlet. However, we do have an original in the works that I'm very excited to share, and we'll have an entire episode dedicated to the writing process and release of that song. For this Halsey cover, I fingerpicked the entire song on guitar, added some electric swells and squeals, and finished it off with a simple bass line and drum bass hits. Overall, fairly easy arrangement with minor dynamic additions. Jes's vocals then drove it home, of course, and really brought a fun flair to the countryish twang side of the song. Following this cover is an intimate interview on how Jes grew up in music and how our band, Silhouettess, helped her harness the power of confidence that comes with being a frontman or frontwoman.
This out and say, I gotta get it off my chest. Got no anger, got no malice, just a little bit of regret. No, nobody else will tell you, so there's some things I gotta say. Gotta jot it down and then get it out, and then I'll be on my way. No, you're not half the man you think that you are, and you can fill the hole inside of you with money, drugs, and cars. I'm so glad I never ever had a baby with you, 'cause you can't love nothing unless there's something in it for you. Oh, I feel so sorry, I feel so sad. I tried to help you, it just made you mad, and I had no warning about who you are. I'm just glad I made it out without breaking down, and then ran so fucking far that you would never ever touch me again. Won't see your alligator tears, 'cause no, I've had enough of them. Take a broken man right in my hands and then put back all his parts. But you're not half the man you think that you are, and you can fill the hole inside of you with money, girls, and cars. I'm so glad I never ever had a baby with you, 'cause you can't love nothing unless there's something in it for you. Oh, I feel so sorry, I feel so sad. I tried to help you, it just made you mad, and I had no warning about who you are. I'm just glad I made it out without breaking down. I feel so sorry, I feel so sad. I tried to help you, it just made you mad, and I had no warning about who you are, about who you are. I'm so glad I never ever had a baby with you, 'cause you can't love nothing unless there's something in it for you. I feel so sad, I feel so sad, I feel so sad. You should be sad, you should be, you should be, you should be. I started singing when I was about 4 years old, and obviously when you're 4, it's hard to remember songs and, do little, I was listening and watching Barney a lot, and my mom noticed that I could carry a single tune, which she was very impressed by, because she was actually pretty into music. My mom's side of the family, even my dad's side of the family, were very musically inclined. So when she saw that little tidbit of interest, she kind of pushed it along a little bit. I've been working with Arie for a while, and we do weddings here and there, and he's been pretty much the #1 supporter of that, which is something I'm really grateful for. And he just gives me an outlet to create and sing and feel and just be, because if I didn't do that, then I would probably just be a marshmallow, and I probably wouldn't have any soul and any fuel to the fire, which is being a mom, being a parent, and being somebody who works full-time and has to have that power. Being on stage and being able to be not only somebody else if you wanted to, but also have a moment to just be yourself and be heard was very big for me. I never really had much of a talking voice or much of an opinion, but I felt like I was most heard when I was singing. So since that was the only way, I would really take advantage of that and just try to just get everything out that I could. And the feedback that I would get from that is people would just say that it was just so lovely and so pretty, and something that they could like fall asleep to, and something peaceful. And that was a lot of something that I didn't have growing up, was just peace. I was never really the most confident person in the room, but I did have a voice, and the more practice that I put into it, it kind of just seemed like it was paying off. So I would continue to try to look myself in the mirror and be this other person, opposed to just trying to be myself. I was always trying to be somebody else. And I think the older I got, when I actually started performing in Silhouettess with Arie, I kind of found that. But I found it on my own. I didn't find it through watching somebody else. I didn't find it through listening to my mom. I kind of just figured it out because I was very comfortable with the person that I was on stage with, who would look at me sometimes and just be like, he would just kind of look me in the eye, like saying like, you got this. And don't get me wrong, like I had support from other people, but it does take the person that you're working with to kind of pull you out of that and let you know you have a gift. Share it. It's fun. And that's what it became. It became fun for me, and it became fun to be myself, and it became fun for me to be confident and know that I had a gift and people actually wanted to hear it. Before, I would think that, oh, I'm just singing because I have to, and I felt annoying to people, rather than confident that people actually really wanted to hear me. And then once I got past that, which definitely took me quite some time, I think I was maybe 21, 22 before I actually really felt that. I would get on stage, and the more that we would perform, the more confident that I would get, and the more comfortable I'd feel in my own skin. And it was definitely a journey, but it was worth it, because in partaking in that, I learned so much about myself, and I just felt better and more secure with myself, being able to share that kind of vulnerable space with other people that people actually enjoyed hearing. People were like, if I was sad or if I was happy, I would just let people in on that particular part, and it's kind of like they journeyed with me, and it's nice to feel like you're not alone. I'll be good. Tell me what you know about dreaming.